Okay, we installed the relays for the headlights. You saw the headlights in the beginning, they're the H4s, and now we're going to end up drilling the hole over here. We're going to put the wires through, put some heat shrink on it. We need to connect the wiring to the panel up in the dash. I got all the wiring ran through the air ducts here on the 240. On the front side, I need to splice this, come on down to our bucket, put a 3-pin connector, and that would be for this bucket here on the right. And then we got this running across. We're going to cut off some of this wire and put a 3-pin connector on this one, and do the same thing, connect it. And then we need to, once we get that done, we'll work on the parking and the side markers and the turn signals and then the horns. But today we're going to just get this thing wired up, and I'll show you once I'm done, or maybe some of the process as I'm going through it on how it's going to be done. Talk to you later. Okay, we got the lines taped up, a grommet, fed the wires through. All we got to do now is just solder them up. So we're going to make a solder here on one of the wires. This is how I'm setting up the thing to do it, or the wiring to do it. Then I'll slide up the heat shrink and heat it up and seal it. Okay, we got the two solders done, and now we'll put the heat shrink over the tops of them and heat them up. Okay, there you go. So that's done. Now we have to connect. These are the two hots coming in from the fuses off the panel. One for the high beam, one for the low beam, running to the relays. So now we're going to connect the the headlights going out from the relays to each left and the right, and we'll do that now. Okay, I needed to drill a 3/8 hole, and I'm going to use this hand nut riveter to install the thread rivet, and that way I can attach the grounds and give it a good chassis ground. All you gotta do is you slide it in. If you've never used this tool before, you screw it onto the bit as low as you can, so you got some bite on there, and then you just stick it in the hole. If it's flat enough, and crank it, squeeze it. Also compress the other side. And you use this right here just to unscrew it. They got a nice mounting area for whatever you want to use. You can use it for mounting brackets or whatever, but then you can just take your screw and, you know, do your grounds like that. So it's pretty cool. There you go. If you want to look it up on the internet, they got different bit sizes and metrics and standard that you can get. It's pretty cool. See how it came out? Really nice. So what I did is I soldered the two wires together, stuck it into the connector, crimped it, and I soldered it again. And I'll tighten it up once I'm done. So now I have to take the wires that go to the buckets, to the lights. I'm going to connect these two to these two wires and run these down to the other bucket here on the right, and then run the ground over there also, put it on the 3-pin connector. So now I'm going to cut these, splice these two together, and then use this wire just come on around. I cut them originally so that I could put a connector on the other side of the bucket and run it through the bucket. That's why I had to cut them. So now I have to reconnect them. Okay, we got the soldering all done. Heat sinks on there. Heat them up. Nice stuff. Okay, right now we're putting the connectors on the wires. I can put them into the connector, actually the terminals I should say. So line them up like this. Might be kind of hard to see. Just take the wire, feed it into the hole. Just want the wire to get nipped. So there's a nice bite on it right there on the wire. Load it up again. Next one. Nice bite on the wire. Nice and tight. Nice good bite on all three of these dudes. And I'll slide the connectors in, but I want to put a touch of solder on there before I do that. Soldering, just a little bit of solder on there, just a good, really good connection. And now I'm going to take this 3-pin connector and I'm going to slide these guys in there, and you should hear it click. Okay, so it's good to go, and I can connect it up to the light. But before I do that, I'm going to run this shrink wrap down, or the heat shrink down on top of the connector and heat it up. And then we're going to tape this all up once we're done. Alright, we'll finish it up with some tape. Cut the wire. Kept this kind of long. I'm going to slide the heat shrink over the top of this, and then that's going to connect to that one there. And we'll hook it up and see if it works. Okay, so moment of truth here. Get everything wired in. I'm going to finish it up once I know everything works correctly. So let's try the low beam, see if it works. Okay, let's leave a low beam on. Let's hit the high beam. You can hear the relays clicking. That's cool. So things working fine. So I got the wiring correct. Now I'll just go back and go back through here and tape everything up really pretty. And these are just in for test right now. So I got the other side in also. And so that's the finished product right there. We'll just wrap it up with tying everything together. And thanks for watching.